All right, so thanks, Kathy. So how we're going to start, I'm going to go ahead and get started now. I'm going to talk until about 3:30. And so just to say, from about 3:30 to 4:30, quarter to 5 will be the reading portion, meditation, and then we'll finish it up with the Q&A. So I know that there are still some people coming in, and people will continue to come in until about 3:30. So welcome to you all. So let me just talk about equinox means, for those of you who may not know, equinox means equal, balanced, harmonizing into a state of restful peace. So let me just go ahead and shift. Just have to shift one other thing. Hang on a minute. Okay, I've got it now. All right, so welcome everyone. I just want to state again, because many of you will be watching the replay later on, that you purchased the recording. So I just want to let you know that some of you have been with me for over 20 years annually as I've done these events. Some of you have never participated before, but I just want to express that you are all welcome in this event. So again, it is spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and it is fall equinox in the southern hemisphere. So again, equinox means equal, balanced, harmonizing into a state of restful peace. However, if you're like most people, you're not feeling very peaceful with life right now. If you're like most people here, even on this event, you're doing all the right spiritual things, and yet you're not getting the spiritual results that you seek. Today is going to be very different. So my name is Nancy Rebecca. I am a registered nurse. And as a nurse, my deep down nature is always to want to help you to feel better. That's kind of my default program. As a psychic, I learned that not all feel-goods can come in the form of a pill, in a drink or a drug, or exercise and running a marathon, or even seeing a counselor on a regular basis, reading self-help books. My favorite is food to comfort myself, self-help books, or even seeking a lot of psychics. I've learned that not all feel-goods come from that place. What I have learned in my 25 plus years working as a psychic reader and a psychic healer is that what can help people like you and me to get unstuck from paralyzing doubt, insecurity, depression, anxiety, and these overriding panic attacks that seem to just come on at the worst time possible. What I've learned is that the biggest way to help shift those things is through radical movement of energy. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be radically moving energy. So if you're meditating on your own and you're shifting energy, that's absolutely wonderful. But today we currently have 155, but we have about 240 who will also total be listening to the recording later. Every little intention that you have today, or big intention that you have today, every single shift that you make today, multiply that times 240. So I just am sharing that with you so that you know exactly how significant this is. But I also know, working as a psychic, that radically shifting energy isn't always the total answer either. I've been radically shifting energy for over 25 years now. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, going through surgery and chemotherapy and radiation. So why do I mention that? Because we need all of it. We need everything. We need the Western system. We need the psychological system. We need the energy system. We need all of it. So, but today we're going to really shift some energy together. We're going to do that kind of radical shifting that's going to rearrange how you see the world from a spiritual perspective. So let's see here. What did I want to say? Okay, so today is March 19th. And in less than 24 hours, we are going to be on the actual equinox, which happens to be this year on March 20th. Often it's on March 21st, but it happens to be March 20th, which is on Monday. However, there's another significant event, and there were quite a few of you who joined me yesterday who were part of the bonus bundle. I would love to read in the chat box after you participated in that event yesterday and you heard about the significance of March 23rd. How are you feeling today? If you could just give one word so that everybody can kind of read what kind of shifts happened yesterday. So on March 23rd, what is significant is Pluto moves out of Capricorn's house, or as I said, moves, what I was saying yesterday, Capricorn moves out of bed with Pluto, and Pluto's going to move into bed with Aquarius. So that's going to be happening on March 23rd. I'm not going to go a lot into that today, other than to say that this significant movement that's happening is that we're moving into, I think of Capricorn as this library filled with books that are policy and procedure books. Have you ever read policy and procedure books at work, or where you were required to read all the policy and procedure? That's the way Capricorn is. It's all about laws. It's all about structure. It's all about rules. And that's where we've been almost for the last 20 years. What we're noticing now is that that's crumbling. The old structure no longer fits. We need structure. Structure's helpful, just like our body is a structure to help channel our spirit. We need structure, but the old dying dinosaur structure that we've been in the last 20 years is starting to crumble. And I don't think that that's a surprise to any of you who are on the call today. But then you shift to imagine Pluto, which is really shining a light on change. We're moving into the house of Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanitarian missions, innovative thinking, celebrating eccentricities of everyone, uniqueness of everyone. Capricorn's all about top-down authority. Aquarius is all about power to the people, bottom-up change, grassroots change. This is the biggest change you will ever experience in this lifetime. And the last time we experienced this type of radical shifting on the earth was around the time of the French Revolution. And it was the time that our Constitution here in the United States was written. You know, there was a lot of people escaping religious and political persecution. And it's almost like we've kind of created that again. And so we have this opportunity this time, starting in March, to help to start to shift that again. I will be talking about that much more on March 23rd, the actual date where Pluto moves out of Capricorn into Aquarius on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So if you are not familiar with that, you can go to YouTube, Nancy Rebecca, Intuitive Mind with Nancy Rebecca, or the Facebook page, Intuition with Precision, or you can write one of us and ask us for that link. So that will happen the day of March 23rd. So let's just hop right into the group reading. How does the group reading work? Well, if you came to make a personal private appointment with me, you would sit in front of me. As a clairvoyant, I have this ability to see your aura, even if you were in the grocery store. I walked up to you and we were looking at a particular jar of spaghetti sauce together. I would be seeing the color of your aura. I would be seeing the color of your chakras. I would be seeing your guides and angels, and I would be seeing your loved ones all around you. That is a natural state of being for me in my life. I've learned to normalize that. I also know that I'm on this call today and I'm not the only one that's like that. I know that some of you can feel things intensely or hear things intensely at an intuitive level, or see or know things intensely. And so this is how we move through the world. So I've been teaching intuitive psychic development for 25 plus years now, because as Aquarius, as Pluto moves into Aquarius, there is going to be an explosion of intuitive psychic abilities. And many people in the world are going to be looking around and saying, wow, I don't know what's going on. Can somebody explain? So that's why I say all of you on this call and those of you listening in later and many others in the world are going to help others to understand what's happening to us in the world. So in this group reading, if you were sitting in front of me in a private session, I would go through and I would look at the different layers of your aura. I would look at the different chakras. I would be able to provide some information as to why you might be feeling anxious or nervous or scared, or why there's drama or trauma or crisis always going on in your life, why you can't sleep, why you can't seem to remain focused. For all those reasons, I can look and see there's always an answer in your aura. Your aura doesn't lie. Your energy field doesn't lie. It doesn't know how to lie. Now, in a group reading, it's very different. In that way, I'm going to read each layer of the group, but you all are going to participate with me. We're going to do this together as a community movement of radical change. Now, the biggest thing that you're going to need today is your ability to imagine, your ability to be playful. If you don't think that you have a very good imagination, then exchange that with pretending. Just pretend that you know what you're doing. Every time you close your eyes, like right now, if you just close your eyes for just a nanosecond, your spirit steps to the front of your classroom. Every time you close your eyes, you give your own spirit an opportunity to teach you. So that's what's going to happen today. I'm going to guide you all through every layer. However, your spirit is going to guide you and help you navigate each layer in your own unique way. Now, we're going to be, I always start off with a color. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's say once we go through our mini starter meditation, and then I'm going to say, okay, I'm tuning into the Equinox group. And what I could see on this particular layer is a grass green frequency color that's coming through. I'm going to ask you all to imagine this grass green light-filled frequency begin to infuse our entire group. Now, we have 157 of us on today, but remember, I am including all 240 who are a part of this. Their essence is a part of what I'm reading today. But you're all going to imagine this grass green. But Anna Bailey, I'm going to pick on you for just a second because you happen to be in my line of sight. So Anna Bailey's like, oh gosh, Nancy's talking about grass green, but all I can see is cherry red, cherry red, cherry red. If you get a different color than what is coming through for the whole group, please go with the color that you're getting. I describe it as a beautiful stew that might have stew meat, has every vegetable imaginable. It's got this incredible bone broth, and yet it needs a little bit, just a touch more salt to enhance the flavors. So the Anna Bailey coming through with cherry red is going to be that pinch of salt that enhances the flavor of everything that's being touched by the green. So basically, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, if you get blue or you get pink or you get purple or you get any other color than what I'm reading, you are right and I'm right. We're both right. Because remember I said, when you close your eyes, your spirit steps in the front of your classroom. Your spirit starts to guide you. Trust your spirit with the color. All right. Then we get a meaning. I'm going to get a meaning for that color. So let's say that that medium green means that you're stepping into a new level of strength. So it just means that that green frequency is kind of like bringing in light codes of higher knowledge to help you to remember that you are stronger than you might believe or think that you are. All right, so just more data. We're giving you more data. And then once I kind of sense and feel that the whole group is kind of jiving on that green, then Spirit's going to show me a symbol. So a symbol is an image, and the spirit world communicates in symbols, communicates in pictures and images and movies. When, as a clairvoyant as I am, I always say I'm bilingual. So I speak English and I speak the language of spirit. I've been doing this enough times that I can get quicker at understanding what the image is. So let's say that it is an image of a gorgeous horse, and the horse has this leather saddle, and it has this leather blanket, and it has these leather straps around each leg, and the tail is braided, but it's got this leather cap over the whole head so that the horse cannot see except right in front of it. So I'm going to go and describe what Spirit is showing me. And then it might be the direction is to imagine your beautiful horse and then take off all the structure. All right, that kind of makes a little bit of sense because Capricorn's all about structure and Aquarius is all about freedom. So that image might be take off the structure, take off the restrictions, and run free through the valley of life. That's exactly what you'll do. But what happens in the group of 157 plus 240 people? What happens is you all let go of strict structure. You all move into that state of freedom. Your energy field radically shifts. And guess what? You can't make it go back in that box, in that saddle, in that hood over the head. It can't, once it's out, it can't go back. So that's why I'm saying in this hour, once you get through this meditation and on the other side, you are going to energetically, spiritually, even the energy field of your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, it's going to be different. You might not notice how different for a few days or a few months, but it's going to be different. I remember once someone had a reading with me and she said, I never feel different after I work with you. You always say, wow, there's big things shifting, but I just don't get it. I just don't feel it. But when I go out to my car and I unlock the door and I put my hands on the steering wheel, the dash of my car looks different. Everything inside my car looks different. Everything in my life is different. I show up to work and everybody looks different. So I'm just saying you can go through this whole reading and not experience anything, but your life, it's going to be different. So, all right. So the group reading, so I'm going to go through all 7 layers. And what I do watch for is that you all come into balance. And how am I going to see that? Well, I am imagining that you're all sitting in a large room with me and I can see all of you. and a little light's going to come on above your head. So like with Ann Lee or Angie or Carol or Lindsay, like it's just like bing, and it comes with the sound. Bing, 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 bing. And then it just, everything just burst into light. Sometimes you might have 200 of you who burst into light, but you still have 40 more who haven't. We're going to hold that space until everybody comes into that light. That means balance and harmony before we move to the next level. But often people will say, I was so afraid that I was the one whose light didn't come on. I'm so screwed up that I was holding everybody back. My energy, my aura is so depressed that I was just, holding everybody, suppressing everybody. And it's like, no. Let me put it in different perspective. You're like a skateboarder going down a hill and you misjudged how fast you were going, and you get those really nice thick band shoes and you just put your foot out to drag and slow it down a little bit so you don't crash and burn. So your light might not be coming on, so the whole group doesn't move through it quickly, so that they get a little bit more time on that level so we don't crash and burn. So just to let you know, everybody has a divine purpose. Everybody's spirit knows what it's doing. Trust that. Once we go through all 7 layers, you're going to come out of it and you're going to feel maybe a little altered, kind of out of it. The best thing to do is start moving your body around. Take a sip of water, get up, go walk outside, get a breath of fresh air. But there is just one other thing that I wanted to throw in here that happens is there are a lot of guides and angels. I'm just going to tell you. And there's a lot that many of you have brought in your loved ones as well. They've been coming in as well with the group. So even though there may be 240 of you, there's easily probably 1,000 if you want to count all the spiritual realm. But because they believe in free will, they're not going to interfere with your process in the group reading. However, sometimes the angelic beings will step forward and say, we can offer some assistance on this layer. But because they believe in free will, you will need to give permission. So let's say that Lindsay, because Lindsay, you're the only one that I can see here. So Lindsay says, I'm not sure about these spiritual beings, and I'm not sure that I feel very comfortable with this. So no offense, but I'm not going to give permission for any spiritual beings to work with me. The spiritual beings always say, please know you are loved just as much if you say no as you are if you say yes. They love it when you follow your free will to make decisions. So I think that's about it for now. I'm going to, we're going to take just like a little 5-minute break. Right now it's 3:30. We're going to come back at 3:35. And then we're going to go ahead and start the reading. So I will put myself on mute and I'll turn my video off. When I turn it back on, that's when you'll know that we're back. Now it's 3:31. We're going to take 5 minutes. So just run, stretch, get something to drink, and for those who have to use the loo, we'll be right back. All right, so as we're about ready to get started, I just want to mention one other thing that seems to come up quite often, and most people who have this issue tend to find it disturbing. And that's the issue of falling asleep. Some of you, the instant I start that first little mini meditation, you're going to go out cold. And the next thing you'll hear me say is, okay, it's time to come back, everyone. And you will have been out the entire time. There are going to be others of you who will go out only during segments of it. So some people will say, oh, I heard what you said at the root chakra, but I didn't wake up again until you were at the 6th chakra. I don't know what happened in between. There are going to be others of you who don't fall asleep at all. As a psychic, what I've learned after doing all these group readings and working with individuals, what I've learned is the more mental you are, the more you want and desire to put everything into a mental structure, the more likely you are to fall asleep. Why? Because your spirit takes you out of your body and your spirit's like, whoop, we're going to take you out because you're having to slow everything down spiritually so your head can get it. So your spirit wants to take you out of your body so that your spirit can work rapidly with this radical energetic shift so that you're not going downhill on the railroad tracks with the full brake on the whole time. Wait a minute, I don't understand what that means. So just know that you might be producing a lot of mental energy. The best way to stop producing mental energy is to shift, like, instead of going, I don't know what that means. Oh my God, I don't understand what she says. Say, isn't that curious? Replace it, everything with, isn't that curious? Isn't that curious? Isn't that curious? If you stay in that state of curiosity, your spirit can help you to move through things. Now, I also know that there are some of you who are radical note takers, and that the whole time we're doing this reading, you're writing the notes, you're writing the notes. And I've heard you tell me, this is how I process. No, this is how your mind processes. Your spirit does not need to process like that. So put down the paper, put down the pen, and be brave enough to let yourself go all in. Be brave enough to let yourself go all in. Remember, when you close your eyes, your spirit gets to step in front of the classroom. If your eyes are open and you're making notes all the time, your mind gets to be your teacher. And we're moving out of the Capricorn, which is very mental. I mean, Aquarius is very mental, but much freer as well. And remember, you all get a copy of this recording. So you get lots of opportunity to go back later, listen to the recording, and make all of your notes and diagrams then. All right, let's get started. So go ahead and get comfortable, whether you're sitting in a chair with both feet on the floor, whether you're lying down or sitting on the floor. Go ahead and close your eyes. And turn within. Turning within is really, really valuable because we're so invested in staying safe and keeping ourselves safe that we might have our antenna on high alert. So really let yourself say, okay, I'm safe in the space that I'm in. I'm safe in my home. I'm safe in my environment, and turn your focus inward and just, I'm a nurse, do a little bit of assessment. How are you feeling inside yourself? And tell your body, let your body know you're going to be shifting in this next hour a lot of energy. Let your body know, I'd so appreciate it if you would be fully participatory. Play nice. Because sometimes when your body kind of resists, you can feel extra aches and pains. So just ask your body, please cooperate for this next hour, because I really want to heal. Ask your mind to not overthink. Ask your mind to put on its curiosity hat, its imaginary, playful, light-minded hat. Or ask your mind to just be willing to pretend that this might be real. What you're experiencing today just might be real. Say hello to your higher self, your own spirit. Take a moment to thank your spirit for being with you your whole life. Thank your spirit for its willingness to love and support you, even if it's been years since you've talked to it. Just thank your spirit for its unwavering support. Let your spirit know that you are a willing student today to whatever your spirit wishes to illuminate for you. Give yourself permission to be to play with your imagination in an expanded way like you never have before. The first thing that you're going to play with in regards to your imagination is with an image of a tree. So imagine an image of your favorite tree. It can be real, it can be animated, it can be an image of a tree you saw in a book, or an image of a tree you saw on a vacation or at grandma's house. And take in the sense, even if you can't see it, can you feel this tree? Can you sense its roots? Can you sense its bark? Can you sense its branches? What type of leaves or greenery does it have? Does it happen to have pine cones or flowers or nuts or fruit? Just notice what you notice, sense what you sense. Now pretend and imagine that you are like this tree. Everything's energy. So the tree's energy, your energy. So pretend and imagine that you have this really deep, deep, deep root system, that your roots can go all the way through the earth's crust. and let it sink down deeper and deeper until you get to the magnetic core of the earth, which is about 4,000 miles deep. And the beauty about pretending and imagining, you can be there in a nanosecond. And then wrap your root system around the magnetic core of the earth. Allow the gravity of the earth to begin drawing out if you have any aches or pains. Maybe you have some worries. Maybe you have a busy analytical mind. Just keep dropping it down the root system to be recycled by Mother Earth. Everything's starting to get clearer now. So now the way that the tree, you as the tree is supported is by the nourishing earth energy. So imagine, the underground streams and the minerals, all the nourishment and the soil begins to travel up your deep root system. The roots drinking it in all the way in, and then allow the whole trunk of your tree to drink it in, and allow the branches above to drink in all that earth energy until the earth energy also fuels the foliage with nourishment. I can tell as a group, just having the earth energy is very transformative for you all. Your body is just parched, desiring more earth energy. All right, now imagine the sun above your tree, the blue, blue sky. It might be a light breeze of energy, of wind moving, and then invite the radiance of the sun to shine a light on the foliage, on the leaves or the greenery or the fruit or the nuts or the flowers, pine cones, and then drink in that golden sunlight into your smaller branches, medium branches, large branches, mixing and blending with the earth energy. It's going to go all the way down through the trunk, blending with the earth energy, and then it's going to go all the way back down to the magnetic core, this golden light, golden cosmic light to mix with the earth all the way down your grounding. So I'm going to take just a moment as you are feeling and experiencing this blend. I'm going to get ready to start the group reading. All right, let's get started. So now go ahead and relax into your playful imagination and let's imagine. And I will tell you, in my 23 years of doing group readings, I've never seen gold show up on the very first layer of a group's aura. So imagine this really golden elixir. You can almost imagine, like, the metal gold when it's melted down, that pure, beautiful, gorgeous liquid. We're going to allow and infuse and invite this liquid gold to infuse the very first layer of our group's aura. Imagine it's infusing the group's first layer. This gold frequency, the purpose is to help spiritualize our survival layer, our ability to survive. As a human on Earth at this time, this gold is enhancing our ability to survive in lighter, brighter ways. So once it's infusing the group's first layer, imagine it's infusing your own first layer, and then invite that gold to flow right into the back of the tailbone area, up by the pubic bone. Let it fill up your pelvis where your survival information is stored. Nice, nice. Someone just came on a little bit late, just to assure you it is being recorded and you haven't missed a thing. We have just started the very first layer, so your timing is good. All right. The imagery that's coming on this layer it's almost like a metal structure, but it's like a golden silver metal structure. I'm going to say in some ways it could look like a submarine, or it could look like a spaceship, although it doesn't have that kind of, galaxy type quality to it. It's very grounded, but it's kind of like you're walking along these kind of metal graded pathways, and there's railings everywhere, and you can go up different staircases, you can go into different rooms, but it's very light, it's very bright. The clothing that you are wearing is very light and very bright, again, quite golden, quite silver. But in the center of this structure, I can see the railing. If I was holding the railing and looking down over the railing, it looks like it goes very deep and very dark. It would be like overlooking a basement down below. The term I'm hearing is uninhabitable, that this land that the structure is sitting on is uninhabitable. What it means is that you all as a group are holding some old energy within you at a survival level, which makes living life hard, challenging, can feel like suffering and struggle. Old energy makes life for you uninhabitable. So in this layer, Spirit's showing you've got all that it takes. You have built this structure of resilience, of lightness, of brightness. Your spirit has moved into your root chakra. Do you know what a big deal that is? That is not easy for that to happen. And so now, as you look down at that uninhabitable energy that still resides there, go ahead and you can bring in gold to rinse it through. You can imagine pushing buttons and a hatch is going to open up and it's just going to drain out. So you want to just keep clearing that area underneath, letting it drop down your grounding until that whole area below is this kind of gold, silver light. As you all work together on this day, March 19th, 2023, as your group comes into balance and harmony to make your root chakra habitable moving forward. Spirit is saying, what part of relationships in your life are uninhabitable? What part of your own personal behaviors are uninhabitable? What aspects of the job that you are doing is uninhabitable? And whatever comes up for you, just drop it down the hole and flush it out with more gold or silver. Remind yourself of today's date. Remind yourself of your current age. It's called present timing, present aging. Open your heart chakra. We only have about 25 of you, just clearing a little bit more uninhabitable energy out of their survival chakra. So let's send them a little love and support as they heal. There you go. Nice shift. I think it was the heart chakra that really did the trick. So beautiful. Let go of any imagery or feelings or sensations that you were working with. Be very grateful for the healing on the root chakra level. And now let's go ahead and shift our attention to the second layer of the Equinox group aura. This is a purple color that's coming through. This purple is very kind of eggplant purple, very dark, deep, rich purple. Let's create a large ball of that gorgeous purple above our entire group of 240. Go ahead and let it infuse this huge aura for us all with this purple energy. The second layer is your spiritual library about your emotions, about your sexual energy, your creative energy, and your male and female energy. This purple is another level of spiritualizing all aspects of how you express your emotions in your life. Pretend and imagine that you know that it's flowing through your own second layer of your aura, and let it flow into your second chakra, which is located a couple of fingers below the navel area. I can already feel some of you are having some cramping here, some aches and pains here, some lower back ache. And that just means that as soon as that purple frequency hits it, it's dissolving it, and the muscles around it are having to let go of that blocked energy. Oh, there you go. Some of that achiness is starting to let up now. So the imagery is coming through. I love it. I love this image. So on this image, we are all together crawling on our hands and knees on a sidewalk. In our pocket, we have a magnifying glass. Whenever we feel something, the first thing that comes up is, what is wrong? I'm feeling something. What is wrong? I'm having an emotion. What is wrong? And you whip out your magnifying glass and you're magnifying the cracks in the sidewalk to see if you can really illuminate what is wrong. What's going on in my life? What's wrong? I can't see it. I can't see it. And then in this imagery, your spirit's going to ask you, whatever you're thinking about, I want you to think about a real issue that's going on in your life that you're studying and you're magnifying so much that, but you just can't see the solution. And then your spirit's going to say, okay, why don't you sit up? Why don't you stand up? Why don't you step back? Why don't you look around and see all the answers that are right around you? You might be over analyzing, over studying, over worrying, and then allow yourself to shift whatever that is that causes you to overthink. Every time you have an emotional expression. On this day, March 19th, 2023, you all learn a little bit more about yourself at a group level and at an individual level on your emotional layer. Let go of what was blocking you from seeing. Allow the purple to illuminate truth and clarity. For many of you, it's starting to get a little heavy. Open your heart chakra. Bring in some more purple. Let go of those heavy, burdensome emotions. Maybe it's a sexual energy block. Maybe it's a creative energy block. Maybe it's a male or female energy block. This is a thick layer for you all. So if you'll just bring through, let through the second chakra swirl that purple cosmic celestial energy. And at the same time, let it drain. Let that thick, old energy drain right down your root system. Remind yourself of today's date and your current age. Just one more thing. Be willing to let go of fear of seeing and knowing the truth in your life. Let go of fear that you might be holding, fear of seeing or knowing the truth. So let go of the fear. And this should start to shift a little more for your group. You're helping each other shift this peace you've been trying to get to for a long time. Okay. All right, there's some golden confetti coming down now. So I'm going to take that as our sign that we have shifted enough as a group on this layer of some old stuck emotions. So awesome. So whatever imagery or sensation you were working with, thank that layer, go ahead and let it go. The third layer is a dark green cosmic energy. So please join with me, everyone, to bring this dark green cosmic energy to infuse through the third layer of the Equinox group aura. Let it infuse through the third layer of your own aura. Let that dark green cosmic flow right into your third chakra, which is where your gut instinct is, where it's above the navel, below the diaphragm, in that area. So just let it fill up with this dark cosmic green. Spirit is telling me this dark green at this level is helping you to release entangled drama, places in your life where you may be entangled in other people's drama, or maybe entangled in your own drama. Let that green do the work of dissolving entanglements. The third layer of your aura, your third chakra, is your spiritual library that holds information for you about power. It's about boundaries. It's about strength. It's about self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. But its biggest purpose is to pull your spirit down into your third chakra and then illuminate your light through all aspects of your life. It's known as the spiritual distribution center, your third chakra, quite important. So the imagery that's coming up on this layer is also quite fun imagery. So in this image, you're walking along a street, and along the street, whether it's a sidewalk or a street, there are these manholes. We'll call them a manhole, but we'll just say an underground hole. Be a woman hole, I suppose, but it's got a flat metal surface, very ornate around the top. You're walking innocently by, you're walking on your path, you've got a place to go, you've got people to see, you're happy, you're whistling while you work. And then suddenly that little lid lifts up out of that hole and an arm comes out and grabs a hold of your ankle. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't go any further till you help me solve my problem. Wait a minute, you can't go any further until you help me deal with this issue. And so it's like, where do you get stopped or where do you get distracted in life? But this is the thing. You can untangle that hand that's on your ankle. You can put the lid back on, but that's not solving the problem. So go ahead and dissolve what's underneath the street, because what you're literally doing is you're dissolving it out of your third chakra. Why do you let yourself get entangled in the first place? How does it serve you? Take a look at all those reasons why, and then dissolve the street, dissolve what's under the street, dissolve all the lids, encourage people to go ahead and move out of your third chakra on this day, March 19th, 2023. Remember, as a group, you are all working on the same issue. You're helping each other with the same issue. Allow that dark green to again swirl around your third chakra. Let it swirl through the imagery to help dissolve those tangles, those fragments of drama, of crisis, distractions from your path. Dissolve them right down your grounding, present time, present age. And there's a few of you starting to feel a little nauseated or have been, just know the nausea is because you're releasing so much so fast. The power of the group is enabling you to really let go of a lot. So even if you need to open your eyes and take a sip of water, put more roots down, just let it go. Let go of the blocks. Take a deep breath. The nausea should pass. Ah, there it goes. Beautiful. At the higher soul level, you have all come into balance and harmony as a Equinox group. Even if it doesn't feel finished to you, at a group level it is, it will continue to transform for you. Let's go ahead and thank your body and spirit for the transformation, and then be willing to move to the heart level, the fourth layer of the Equinox group aura. This is another dark green. It's the same exact dark green that I am witnessing on the third layer. But this dark green on the fourth layer has silver streams of silver light flowing through it. So create that large ball of dark green with the silver streams to flow through the heart layer of our entire group. Let it flow through your own fourth layer and let it flow into your chest area, your heart chakra. And its purpose is the same: to dissolve entanglements at the heart level that you have with other people that may keep pulling you back into old patterns around love. Spirits adding old destructive patterns around love. The imagery that's coming through on this layer. So whether you are a part of this group and you're in a male body or a female body, it does not matter. You are all working on the same issue. And the issue is, the imagery is butterflies. Butterflies are free. So spirit is using the analogy that you all and your hearts are free, like a butterfly. And yet there are these nets when you're in a relationship. So it might be with a lover, it might be with a partner, it might be with a husband or a wife, but it also can be with a coworker or a boss or a neighbor. So don't limit it to just love relationships. But the symbology here is the net, where you start to get close with someone and they think they can manage you. They think they can control you. They want to scoop your beautiful wings of a butterfly into a net to maybe put you in a little glass jar to try to manage, to keep you all to themselves. So this can also be what spirit is saying is what is done to you, but do you do this to others? Do you try to capture their heart and then try to manage and control and keep the beauty all to yourself? So on this layer, play with the butterflies. You're surrounded, you've got thousands of butterflies around you, and every time you see a net show up, take that net, you can break it, you can dissolve it, you can turn the net into butterflies, but you continue to present time, present age, as you release all the nets off of this fourth layer as a group on this day, March 19th, 2023. Butterflies are free. Can see that there's a couple of you battling a little bit with some intensity, but there may be some energies in your life that are pulling out some extra big nets. Go ahead and call on an ascended master, an angel, a guide to come in and assist you to move that person's energy with their big nets out of your heart layer. It's okay to ask for help. Just have a few more of you. You're doing a great job. Just let that darker green with the silver come through and just help dissolve any residual. And if everyone else can open your heart chakra and send those few just a little bit of love as they attempt to heal some really old toxic patterns and relationships. Beautiful. Thank you for holding that lovely space for those that really came to this group for that particular healing today. Nice, nice. All right, we're going to move to the fifth layer of the Equinox group aura. I have to say, this is an interesting one. It's green and red plaid. I don't know how you make cosmic light into red and green plaid, but that's exactly what it is for the fifth layer. So go ahead and allow that plaid, that light of patterned light of red and green flow through the fifth layer of the Equinox group aura, through your own fifth layer, and then let that red and green flow through your the front of your throat, the back of your neck, filling up your fifth chakra. This red and green plaid is assisting us as a group to clear. Sorry, I had it. It's gone. Just a minute. Oh, game playing. Game playing around communication, game playing around manipulation, game playing around verbal control. So this beautiful plaid red and green is helping to dissolve game playing around communication. And Spirit's very clear on this layer. It's other people playing games around communication. Because it's also clearing the energy of your confusion when you don't understand why they're playing the game in the first place. Now, the imagery on this layer, I'm going to assume that you've all seen the Harry Potter movies, but if you've not, if you haven't, you've seen enough images to know that it's kind of like Hogwarts school. Or in Ireland, there's the library there, I think, where the Book of Kells is, and that library was used in the movie. It's this beautiful, ornate building, like a mansion and a library. But this is the thing I want you to imagine. This is your house. This is the place where you house all the beautiful spiritual, the mystical, magical aspects of who you are. All the ways that you know how to communicate on several different multi-dimensional communication. You know how to communicate love. You know how to communicate kindness. You know how to communicate truth. But what Spirit's showing me here is you've got this enormous welcoming room, but it's covered, like sheets are covering the couches and the chairs and the lamps and the piano, where you've covered up your communication to let others be the dominant communicator. So on this layer, you're being asked to uncover. This is what Spirit's telling me about this particular Equinox group. You are master communicators. You are master communicators. So take the sheets off the furniture and uncover everything and lighten and brighten and open the curtains, because your spirit says it's now time for you to step forward on this day to let people know the truth of what you know. On this day, March 19th, 2023, to communicate truth. There is fear coming up on this layer about speaking your truth about what you deeply know about this time that we're living in, this mystical, magical time that we're living in. Just drop the fear down your grounding and know that you do not have to walk out your door tomorrow and start saying, I'm a psychic, I know magic, I know mysticism. You get to do it in your own time, but spirit is just asking you to take the sheets off the furniture. That's all you're being asked to do right now. Reveal yourself to yourself. And there's about 70% of you that are leaving your body right now. I asked Spirit, what should we do about that? And Spirit said, let you float. So imagine that you're floating high above this mansion or Hogwarts school or whatever imagery you want to use. Let yourself just float a moment as your spirit continues to help heal your communication chakra so that you can feel more comfortable expressing the truth of who you are. I can hear some of you say, I'm not ready. I hear others of you say, I don't even know what that truth is. And Spirit's just saying, just clear the sheets off the furniture. It will reveal itself to you later. Open your heart chakra, present time, present age. All right, there you go. There's a rolling light now that's moving out 360 degrees from your fifth chakra, your communication chakra at the throat level. It's like 360 degrees of this elixir of gold that's flowing out. And as it rolls out, it's clearing any old, outdated energy blocks around communication. Okay, there we go. Whew, that was a biggie. So we just have two more layers to go. So if you just want to stretch your body a little bit, if you need, take a sip of water. We are going to head right into the sixth layer of the Equinox group aura. But just take a moment to move your body. Let your body know just two more layers. All right, here we go. The sixth layer of the Equinox group aura is a lapis cobalt blue. Go ahead and create this large ball of cosmic blue to begin infusing our entire Equinox group aura with this blue, 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 blue color, celestial frequency. Allow it to flow through your own personal sixth layer, and then let it flow through your forehead and the back of your head. The words I'm hearing is this blue is dissolving the ugly truth. Dissolving ugly truth. There's some sharp energy coming out of this one. So remember, the sixth layer is connected to your sixth chakra, which is all about your intuition and your psychic ability. It's about clarity, crystal clear clarity about how you see the world and how you see your life. The imagery that's coming through is a beautiful garden. So some of you will design a garden that is wildflowers, that it has wild growth. Some of you will produce and imagine a garden that is more desert-like with beautiful cactus. Some of you will make an English garden or a French garden, or an African garden. Whatever garden you want to design, it's this large, large imaginary pretend garden that is representative of the beauty of your mind, of your intuition, of your psychic ability. Go ahead and start to design the imagery all around you of this beautiful garden. The ugly truth on this layer is showing up as big black garbage bags full of garbage. Well, that truth is garbage. Well, that truth is garbage. How did I believe that truth? That was garbage. So have fun. Just moving the garbage out. What's literally happening is you're moving it out of your sixth chakra. Any garbage thoughts, garbage truths, whether they're yours or someone else's, go ahead and clean it out, returning to the beauty of your garden on this day, March 19th, 2023. You're all moving very quickly on this layer. Looks like you are having a lot of fun clearing out the ugly truths in life. Wish it was really that easy at a global level, but it's happening. Present time, present age. Beautiful. That was a really quick shift for the Equinox group. So go ahead and let go of everything that you were working with. Thank your mind for being so willing to let go of that blocking energy of ugly truth. We just have one more, everyone. You're doing fantastic in this shift. The color that's coming through on this layer is a cosmic red. It is a very strong cosmic red. It is, join with me to begin infusing this celestial cosmic red, primary red, down through the seventh layer of our entire group's aura. Your seventh layer is your spiritual layer that remembers your spiritual personality and your spiritual purpose in life and spiritual truth. I asked what the red's about, and I heard it's dissolving spiritual bullshit. And I said, oh, can you come up with a lovelier word than that? And Spirit said, okay, it's helping dissolve spiritual bullshit. So that's the word Spirit is wanting to stick with. To say whatever's not alignment with spiritual truth is going to dissolve with this awesome red vibration and frequency. Let it flow through for the group, let it flow through your own seventh layer, and let that red flow right into the core of your seventh chakra, which would go down and touch like where your baby's soft spot would have been when you were born. Let that cosmic red flow all the way into your spiritual core. Now, the image that's coming up on this layer, it's a hill and the sky is blue. It's beautiful. The environment feels incredibly sacred. It feels as if we've stepped onto sacred ground. There are thousands and thousands of people who are gathered. There are ascended masters, there are angels, there are guides, there are loved ones. There's a lot of people that you don't know, but they are all gathered together at this sacred area. But in the center of this hill is this golden obelisk. So if you're not familiar with an obelisk, it can have 3 sides or it can have 4 sides, and it's a tall tower like you would see in Egypt. And then it'll have hieroglyphics in it, or I'll have what I'm going to call like sacred geometry or light codes. Let's say light codes. So it's like you're at the bottom of the sacred hill, and I'm seeing all these people are parting and they're looking at you, and it's like, we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. So you're being supported by a lot of holy beings, parting the pathway for you to walk to the top of this hill. And then they wish for you to touch the obelisk to help you remember to activate your purpose on earth. What they're saying the most is to help you remember your own sacred holiness. On this day, March 19th, 2023. Let the red dissolve any blocks to remembering your sacred holiness. And then the guidance is, once you have your message, to join the crowd and then look back and see the hundreds of thousands or millions or billions of people making their way to this sacred site to help them remember their own sacred holiness. As everyone on the whole planet awakens. All right, whether you actually sense that you got a message or not, you've all come into balance and harmony as an Equinox soul group on this day, March 19th, 2023, to include those who will be listening to the replay later. Go ahead and thank your spirit Thank your body. Send out a telepathic gratitude for everyone of the 240 people participating in this reading, thanking them for participating in your personal healing. And see if you can feel their gratitude as they thank you for participating in theirs. And then whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes and stretch your body. Some of you are sound asleep, so I'll say, wake up, wake up, wake up, sunshine. Time to join us again. Whew. Lovely. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and we're going to take 10 minutes. It's 5 minutes to 5. So I will come back on at 5 minutes after 5. And that's where we're going to do our Q&A. And I don't remember some of the layers. I was trying to remember. So it'll be, I'll give the instructions when we come back. For those of you who have to leave now, thank you again so much. We will be sending out the recording tomorrow, so you'll have the replay then. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you will join us again for everything that we do in the future. So let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break. See you at 5 after 5. Thanks. So I just have to tell you guys, Kathy and Yvonne and anybody else, thank you for reminding me to hit the record button. But when I'm pinned on speaker view, it does not show me comments. So I never saw the comments. So thank you for everyone who tried. You can yell at me again next time and say, don't forget the recording button. So anyway, you'll raise your hand, and then I'd ask you, only tell me one layer. If you remembered all 7, great. I don't want you to tell me all 7. I want you to share one layer, and then what your experience was like with that layer, and then we'll move on to the next one. So hi, Donna. We'll go ahead and get started with you.
Okay, hi. It was hard for me to pick a layer because there's a couple that were like, woo, but I'm going to pick the 5th layer. And that was the red and green plaid. And the color was fascinating in my mind's eye because it almost looked like laser light or a holographic color as it came through.
Yeah.
The Hogwarts building was, huge and ornate. The room was just amazing. And as I went to draw back the curtains to let some light in, the curtains were so tall and so red and so wonderful.
Oh.
And I drew back, and the light came in the room, and I could see I was in, Spirit says I was in a golden robe of wisdom, and I had my wand of courage. And as soon as I waved my wand of courage to, release all the covers on the furniture and everything, it was like, do you remember in the Harry Potter movies where they take their wand and they put it at something and it would just be like this fury of, and it was like a vortex and everything was just moving and going up and there's sheets flying all around. And I was like, ah, but it was like, I wasn't scared. It was actually kind of thrilling. And as everything went up and out with such force. Oh, and I wanted to mention, when that color first started infusing through the 5th, I started getting a lot of pain, physical pain as things were clearing. But when everything kind of settled and you're like, wow, okay. And the pain had cleared. But that was really one of the powerful ones. But it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And did you feel, so I have to say on that one, because when I went to go take a break and get something to drink, and Yvonne said, red and green plaid, like, where did that come from? And I'm like, hey, it's not up to me to figure it out. I'm just the messenger. I've never had that happen, but it was like light weaving, and it had some significance to it. But what came up was like, kind of like the sense of a coat of arms, but I couldn't think of that term at the time. But there was this sense of like you all have had many lifetimes helping on the earth, and that you come from a long lineage of people who have helped. That coat of arms is, anyway, It was huge. But then the other thing is you all started to, not all, but I don't remember how many I said, like 70 or something, started to lift off the ground. And I thought, uh-oh, I should add some more grounding here. And Spirit's like, nope, let them float, let them float. So I didn't know if you noticed any floating.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. When I had my robe on, I started to feel like my feet weren't touching the ground anymore. And I was starting to float in my room, even though I was conscious in my brain. And I started to feel like I was floating in my robe. And then you said, people are floating, let yourself float. And as I let myself float in the room, that's when the wand kicked in. And
Okay.
that's when so thank you for saying that. That was a huge part of it. I forgot to mention. And it did feel very coat of armsy and the plaid was like had a weaving like a tartan and all that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, that's the right
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you. Yes. When the floating started, that's when the wand kicked in and everything, all the magic happened.
all the magic. Well, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Great way to spend my birthday with you and
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Donna. Donna's always such a enthusiastic joy. Awesome. Hi, Barbara.
Hello. I don't really know why I put my hand up because I'm always uncomfortable up here,
Mhm.
but here I am.
That's a good reason to do it, right? I always say, let's get those triggers pushed to the surface so we can clear them out. Don't let them stay buried. So good for you.
All the experiences were beautiful, really nice. And that my favorite was the 7th. And that hill and the obelisk at the top. And it was a lovely green hill, green grass. And when all the people parted and I realized it was for me, that was beautiful.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so I walked up and went to the obelisk, got what I needed and stepped back. And then I went, I was looking at all the people in the world who were awakening and coming up to get their codes. And I could see them coming from everywhere. And I went halfway down the hill. I just kept moving down till I got halfway down. And then I telepathically sent out messages, and some people turned, heard it, came. And so they went walking up, in a line. They were all spaced out. And the other people then followed them.
I have goosebumps when you were describing. I have just chills everywhere when you're describing.
Yeah. And the interesting thing before we started today, I have some some sprays, sound essence sprays from Evelyn Mulders, and I stopped because I thought, oh, you want me to spray today. And so 2 came. One was the Stargate 6, and it is remembering your magnificence.
Oh.
And the other was the Crown Chakra, note B, and that's beauty, creativity, and inspiration.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely. And what are those sprays again, if anybody wants to?
Oh, sound essences. She puts she does a very good job on it, Evelyn Mulders. And she's, let me see, it's tiny writing. But if you go to Sound Essence,
Okay.
soundessence.com, I guess.
Okay.
You will get these. She creates them. She brings in the energies of crystals and sound, and she created the archangel sprays for Kimberly Maroney, the first angelology doctor of angelology. She knows all the angels and what they sound like, smell like.
Yeah. So is it a Canadian person?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Barbara.
Okay.
Anybody else? Hello, Gia.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My favorite layer was the heart. I think that was the one with the butterflies and the net.
Yeah.
And I felt like I received as much as I released and helped others on that one. Like I really felt the group with that one, but I noticed that I was really enjoying, like I would see the butterflies captured in the nets, and then I would be the one flipping the net over and letting the butterflies free.
Mhm.
And it was also me kind of releasing the nets that I was holding on other people. I felt was as profound as, you know,
Mhm.
having that help with other people helping me to be free. It was
Mhm.
very reciprocal and very eye-opening and very beautiful. And that was
Yeah,
my
and I'm so
favorite.
glad you mentioned that because what was significant from my side of the view was that there were some people who had just a lot of pain around old toxic relationships, unhealthy or been hurt or harmed, and they could not seem to clear. Like the nets just kept getting bigger. So I don't know if anybody here um, experienced that, but that's what I was noticing. There were a couple. And so when you all just kind of joined in to help, it really helped a lot. And then calling in the angels to help as well.
Yeah, that was my favorite. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Gia.
Mhm.
Before I get to you, Carly, I'm going to read a couple of the comments. So Cam said, I fell asleep for most of it. I finally woke up on the 5th layer. Taza showed up. Daylight savings time here in the United States really kind of threw a loop, and so they ended up showing up an hour late. We're really kind of bummed, but they actually came right in. Taza, you came right in when the reading started. Mary feeling like bobbing and floating in the water on the 2nd or 3rd layer. Jasmine walking to the obelisk was a favorite, very moving, very emotional, especially when everyone waiting there parted for me to approach it. It felt very supportive. Linda H saying, which layer was the butterfly? It was the 4th layer. Oh, Yvonne, thank you. She posted the website for the essences. So, okay, Carly.
Hi, thank you so much. My favorite layer was the 3rd layer, and it was the dark green, and it was the city with the manhole covers and the hands coming up to like pull us down. And
Entanglements. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about entanglements. And yeah, so I really loved that layer. It was just a really magical layer because as I was walking through the city, so my feet would turn everything below me into moss, and it turned into a forest as I walked through it. And then everybody who was in my 3rd layer was left in the city, and I was out in the forest all by myself.
That's awesome. Well, and the thing about what I'm noticing during this great time of change that we're in, especially here in March, lots of 3rd chakra stuff is coming up big, 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 big time. And the other thing I'm just going to flip in here about what you said, Carly, is that yes, and we want to be able to walk in the city and not get entangled as well. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit to go back to that imagery and then play with that. Because what I noticed when I was watching the whole group, I thought, uh-oh, like the whole floor kept collapsing, the street kept collapsing. Is everybody going to get sucked down in the earth? Like there was just a lot of, but what that meant was as a group, you were letting go of a lot of stuff. So I bet if you go back, play with the imagery, it'll be different this time. But I love that, because you're literally changing the 3rd chakra, your 3rd chakra. So cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Charlie. Hi, Linda.
Hello. Very grateful to be here today. It was a wonderful experience for me. I want to talk about the brow chakra, the 6th chakra, the lapis blue. one where I believe we created our garden. And
That was the 6th layer. Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, okay, I'm on the right layer. But
Yeah.
anyway, for myself, I have a garden, and in my garden is a place where I go to forgive people. And so today I've been working on this lately. I was able to forgive my mother for another layer.
Nice.
And I went in there, and that's when we took out the ugly truths, right?
Yep.
And I packed up a bunch of ugly truths that my mother has told me through the years and decided to take that garbage out.
Yay.
I let go of some stuff, so I
Yeah.
loved it.
And how did that feel when you did that?
Peaceful, I feel lighter, I feel relaxed.
Nice.
I feel like I like myself a lot better. I love myself.
Nice. Hey, that's the best. That's the best. That radical movement of energy and healing. Thank you. Thanks, Linda. Hello, Miss Georgia.
Hello.
I went to psychic school with Georgia. We had a great time.
We did.
Yeah.
Anyway, the first layer was the one I was most struck with, which was all liquid gold.
Yeah.
And the first thing that popped into my mind was, oh, we're melting Mar-a-Lago. And you know, your whole beginning talk
Now
about.
you have to remember, yes,
I'm
but go
careful.
ahead. We're keeping it neutral, but yes, go ahead. But it is your imagination and it is your healing. So you go right ahead.
Anyway, you're beginning to talk about structures melting.
Yeah.
And so, and gold is often liquid. So it just, that is a symbol really of what's happening.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention is that March 19th is the Knights Templar holiday. And
No way.
yeah,
Of course you would know that.
and there was a certain allusion throughout the whole reading of, well, like the tartan, the red and the green. There's sort of a theme throughout the whole thing. So I just wanted to throw that in as well.
Nice,
So-
nice. Well, in talking about the first layer, so I have to say, like at one point, it looked like a structure that would be on Mars, and Mars would be uninhabitable. But what Spirit was saying was, it could be anywhere, but it's those parts within our own root chakra that these blocks of energy that make life uninhabitable for us. It's just not tolerable. We just have to make changes. So did you find when you looked down over the railing, were there parts that make life uninhabitable for you that you were able to clear?
Well, I believe that there's this, it's like back to the melting, where some of these darknesses are going away.
Yeah.
And well, for me, there was melting to have that happen.
Yeah.
And gold, of course, is a very high vibration.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to believe. We're just going to have a little Georgia and I here, but it's hard to believe in my whole life that we have the potential for things to get better. Because it's been so hard. But it's like the mathematical equations and the quantum physics and the planetary alignments are all pointing in the direction that it's going to get better.
Right.
And so that's why it's good that we get together like this in groups to radically move energy, so that we can keep encouraging each other when we lose faith. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Georgia.
Yep.
Hi, Tanya.
Hello. Yeah, I liked them all. I'm not going to pick one, but I just wanted to say I was super excited for this. I've been waiting for this, and I feel like I had so much dumping and unwinding, and my body was unwinding, my legs were unwinding. And, like you talked about heaviness and stuff, I didn't really feel a lot of heaviness, but I would occasionally get a little leg cramp, and I just remind spirit, gentle, gentle,
Nice.
and just a lot of joy in
Nice.
removing so much stuff. And it's just, I can't wait to see how things unfold going forward. So
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
I have to tell you, I felt a lot in the legs as well, Tanya. And in the beginning, when you all kind of drew up that earth energy into the tree and into the roots, it was just like parched. I use the word parched. It's as if our energy fields are parched and it needs more earth energy right now. So if that's any kind of sign, we'll all join Carly on her forested moth path, because our bodies right now during this time of change are really craving nature, in a huge, huge way. It's going to be our really help us through all this. Yeah. So thanks, Tanya.
Mhm.
Does anybody remember, we're about ready to wrap up, so I'll just mention it. The second layer was the magnifying glass on our hands and knees, and we're like looking through the crack to see if we can find what's the problem with the emotion. So a lot of times people think, yes, purple eggplant, yeah, where it's like, what's wrong? Why am I feeling like this? What's wrong? And we always want to try to figure out what's wrong. But emotions are just the way our spirit expresses through our body. And it's a way to communicate through how we feel. But we were so close to the issue that we can't kind of see the forest through the trees. So anyway, so that was a really cool layer. Oh, and on that layer, lots of cramping. I don't know if anybody else felt it, but that cramping in that whole lower back, it just was almost like on fire with what, and actually it seemed like it took the longest to clear. Hi, Perry. Go ahead and pop in.
I couldn't really remember any of the layers until you said the microscope or whatever, the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And what I realized is that as soon as I started looking at the magnifying glass, we were crawling on the cement. My knees were bloody. My hands were bloody. I was just so focused on trying to find the detail that I wasn't listening to my body, seeing that I was ripping it up, So
Yeah.
really amazing. Yeah.
It
And
was,
ouch. Oof,
yeah.
so much
And it
pain.
was like, I just want to move quick, but it was almost like, I don't know if you've ever seen that tar that you put on a roof to repair a roof that has a leak in it. You open that can and that tar is just this black, thick. That's what I was noticing was pouring down the grounding of the whole group out of the second chakra. So I tell you this because you all released a lot of thick, black, old energy. So you might need to take a little Tylenol, drink some warm tea or whatever, put a heating pad on because you may be feeling some aches around there. So thanks. I'm just gonna look at a couple more comments so we don't miss those. So Cheryl, the seventh layer heard love prevails over and over. You're very welcome. Drew, it was so interesting to see what I was adding to the group energy. On the first layer, I was adding black energy, realism, cynicism. On the fourth layer, it felt like lighter, setting that green energy on fire a little bit. And it was very cool to watch. And I'll have to tell you, Drew, that I saw some fire come up and I'm like, whoa, what? It was almost like a grass fire around the outer edges is what I was noticing. It was almost like it was burning coming in. It was very, very cool. So I think it's cool that that's what you were adding. Awesome. Now it's interesting. I'm going to have you unmute yourself. So tell me a little bit about this realism, cynicism. Did you feel like you had to add that? So go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was this kind of black energy that was fusing with the gold that just made it darker and fuller and more complex. It was balancing out some lighter gold energy that was coming in.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, Drew. Okay. So sorry. I'm trying to get, somebody said they had aches and pains throughout the whole thing. Sorry, I'm missing that right now. I can't even seem to find it. Hang on. Ashton Ray, I slept through the whole second layer. It was a biggie, Ashton Ray. So don't worry, you're going to get the recording. Someone on their phone said, can localized physical pain present on all layers? Absolutely. That just means that your body is just showing you where the blocks are. So that can show up. And I bet a lot of people, if we took a poll, a lot of you had aches or pains. Just support yourself in all the ways that you would normally, whether it's a bath or Tylenol or however you'd support yourself. Yeah, Yvonne, thank you for answering that. Katie, you said the first layer was powerful. It felt like the gold was filling in the dark spaces. Even the deepest with liquid gold, bringing depths to the surface, eliminating the risk to fall into the abyss or trip over the cracks. I love it. At the same time the cracks were filling, the gold was flowing down, creating deep golden roots that went to stabilize the structure. I love it. And Taza, are you still here? What is Japanese kintsugi? Are you still here, Taza?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Let me turn on my thing. There's my thing.
Hi.
It is the art of repairing pottery with gold, cracked
Oh,
pottery or golden pottery. You
yes.
put the gold into the cracks and then, it's more beautiful in the places where it was broken.
Yes.
As our life shows us, when life breaks us, if we can come back with the possibility of becoming more beautiful as a result of that.
Yeah.
That was about. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And actually, Yvonne and I were having this long conversation where we're moving out of this phase, or what I'm seeing with spirit, we're moving out of this phase where we have been licking our wounds, and that we've been in a pattern for years of licking our wounds. And now spirit's like, okay, you're wounded, put a bandage on it and keep going. To remember that your wounds made you stronger, and to stand in that strength. So, but yeah, filling it with gold. I love it. And then Kirsten, thank you, Nancy, Yvonne. Yeah, it takes all of us to pull together. Okay, just got a few more. Again, thank you, Isabel. Second layer caused me to break out in almost a feverish sweat. Yes. So much energy moved on that layer. Angela, what should we expect after this experience? Should we pay attention to and look for? So remember, when you close your eyes, spirit gives you an opportunity to teach you, wants to teach you. Just self-care and support. So loads of water. You want to drink a lot of water. Spirit, you're going to be so tapped into your spirit. Now, for some of you, you're going to get big signs. For other, you're going to notice you're able to meditate more in a seamless way. And some of you, you're just going to notice you're different. And usually it's like in response to other people. That's where we actually see ourselves reflected the most. Somebody will be talking to you and it's like, wow, I would have gotten so triggered by that yesterday. And I can't even be bothered today. So, but we're all individuals. When I work with my students, they're all so uniquely different. So it's going to show up differently for all of you, but you are tapped in more. Your spirit's got direct access to you more. So don't be surprised. Give opportunities to close your eyes and listen to your spirit. Give opportunities, say you want signs, and just say, no, not 20 years from now, I want a sign in 3 days, what kind of thing that you can reflect back. But self-care, I'm just going to say, is the biggest thing. I teach psychic intuitive development, and it's going to come in all kinds of ways, but just tell your spirit, give me an affirmation that I moved energy this time. Notice what changes. Yep. Thank you, Yvonne. Kelly, many layers turned to aqua blue. I saw a lot of aqua blue this morning. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Yvonne to Troy. Much gratitude. All right. I think there we are. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being on the call. Just to give you another little note for those who are thinking about or not sure about Psychic Mastery 1, we are opening the doors We haven't opened the doors since last September, so we're opening the doors for enrollment for students again. Go ahead and put yourself on the waiting list. You just go to our website, put yourself on the waiting list. But anyway, it's so nice. Angela's saying her energy was out of whack, and this really helped her feel more at peace, and deep pain went away. You are very grateful. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Please really support yourself this week. You moved some big energy. All right. Thanks, everyone. You
Thank
can unmute
you.
yourself to
Bye.
say goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. It was great to see you all.
Thank you, everyone. And
Bye.
Nancy,
Thank you.
Rebecca,
Thank
bye.
you.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
Sue.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to ask.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Donna.
Thanks.
Bye, birthday
Night.
girl.
Goodbye, birthday girl. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye,
Kathy,
everybody.
can I ask you to stay on? And Yvonne, please.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Blessings. Blessings. Bye, Donna.
Bye.
Bye, Donna.
Bye.
Bye, Therese.
I'm trying to go.
Bye. Bye.
Well, you'll get the right button pushed. Bye, Annalie.
Bye.